On field, he was an aggressive fast bowler, but off the field, he's always been a gentle gentleman. Today, I'm catching up with a man known as Zach with a special friendly appearance from his neighbor and fellow fast bowler Ajit Agarkar. We talk about cheesecakes, coffee, the World Cup, and of course Ashish Nehra over breakfast that he's cooking for me. Oh, wish me luck. Do you know what you're doing?
अरे for you to cut the bread, yeah?
ये तो बड़ी गलत बात है यार, घर बुला के फिर काम करवाते हैं.
I'm known for that.
For calling people and making them work. So I need to cut this bread.
वीरू कहता है उसको ना, पार्टी से हम लोग घर आ रहे थे, तो मैं बोला चलो यार मेरे घर चलो सारे, तो कहता तेरे घर नहीं आना यार, तू हमसे ही काम कराता है. आइस की तरह अच्छा था, फ्रिज में जा लिया.
But do you seriously make your breakfast every day कि ये ऐसी आज मतलब
नहीं एवरीडे है,
लोग आए तो शो ऑफ करने के लिए?
नहीं
देखो मैं कितना घरेलू हूँ मैं, कितना घरेलू सुशील लड़का हूँ मैं.
दिस इज व्हाट आई एंजॉय.
ओके क्या तबाही मचा रहे हो, कम करो थोड़ा तेल.
इट्स नॉट, इट्स प्योर घी यार, इट्स गुड. Happy? Perfect.
Who out of the team is the best cook?
I know Yuvraj Singh is definitely not a good cook.
He can cook up stories.
Yeah, that's what. But breakfast and all, he cannot even make eggs, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Okay, looks like we're all set. हाँ जी, मुझे भी. मैं भी खाऊंगा इंग्लिश मैन की तरह.
चलो.
जाहिल समझ रखा है क्या मेरे को? हाथों से खाऊंगा मैं.
You can close the door.
So you obviously like mirchi a lot, huh?
I asked you before I put mirchi. मिर्च कितनी डालते हो?
मिर्च तो बहुत अच्छी लगती है मेरे को.
मतलब ज़्यादा डाल सकते हैं.
बिल्कुल. I love mirchi.
Yeah, I also like it spicy.
When you were playing,
Yeah.
was there any? What did you stop yourself from eating?
Well, I have weakness for desserts and stuff. So I would kind of restrict myself, and I would not restrict myself. I would treat myself with dessert. So I would have like set milestones.
4 विकेट ली तो केक.
आज चीज़ केक खा सकता है बेटे तू, जा. You deserve it.
और अगर 10 ओवर में 70 रन बढ़े तो? 10 ओवर में 70 रन बढ़े.
2 चीज़ केक.
For the pain.
आज हालत बड़ी ख़राब है. आज you deserve it.
You know, one thing I noticed when you retired, the sort of the messages, the Twitter campaign, the social media, it was so overwhelming. I think it was it Thank You Zach was the hashtag?
Yeah.
You've been a good servant of the game for India for 14, 15 years.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's. I think that's what you look for, and saying goodbye to the game is probably the toughest decision any athlete has to make. But once you make that decision and you get all this appreciation from everyone and support, it just it definitely overwhelms you. I was very happy and same that day when I took that decision, I announced it to the world. It was like a load off. It just kind of came to me, and when it happened, it was like a process, and I was very happy. I was very happy to look back at my career, to share memories with friends. Everyone who had gone and spoken to were talking about all the fond memories. So it was all good. Yeah, it was a good ride.
फास्ट बॉलर और इंजरी का रिश्ता तो हमेशा ही रहेगा.
There was no exposure. See, I started playing when I was 18.
Yeah.
So everything from there was a challenge.
Yeah.
Because before that, I used to think that running 2 laps of the ground is training.
No.
So that was my exposure to training.
Two laps and 1 cheesecake. हो गई training आज की.
I went to Pace Foundation. The guy goes to me, okay, guys, let's warm up. 2 laps of the ground. I was like, really? This used to be my training. He's saying warm up karo. So since the exposure to training, my actually consistency pace went up.
Yeah.
Always had that basic pace, I must be bowling at 132 to 135.
Yeah.
But after that training, I was suddenly clocking 90 miles. So I was bowling at 144, 145.
Yeah.
And it was just through sheer training. So I was weighing 62 kgs when I went to Pace Foundation. 6 months of training, I was weighing 83.
All muscle.
Yeah, so it was just through proper training and stuff, and that kind of supplemented to what I was doing on the field, which is coming, running in and bowling fast.
Yeah.
It's always tough for bowlers. I mean, yeah.
I love that line.
It's as simple as that.
That should be the line of the show. It's always tough for bowlers.
but having said that, you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things which you don't have any control over it. You cannot change it.
...2003 World Cup that happened. एक तो 2003 था और एक 2011 था. Obviously, एक जीते और दूसरा सबको लगा जीतना चाहिए था.
Yeah, I was. I mean, and the whole journey of the World Cup was brilliant. Like, I've had a great World Cup apart from those 2 overs which I've bowled in the finals. So, but it was a great learning experience. Like, I just felt that experience kind of helped me in 2011, preparing for the 2011 World Cup final, which was actually much more pressure because, we were playing in front of the home crowd.
But do you say that that's the greatest moment of your entire career, winning the World Cup at Wankhede in front of 50,000?
Of course, it was brilliant. I mean, the whole atmosphere was amazing. As we were batting in the second innings, the whole stadium was singing Vande Mataram. Like, I was like giving goosebumps to you. The whole, everyone wanted us to win that World Cup so badly. The best memory of that I have is next morning actually. Ashish Nehra and his wife Rushma, their kid was also there, Arush, and we had all the newspaper lying in my room, and the World Cup trophy was in my room.
Yeah.
And Arush also came in the room, and we clicked pictures with them and stuff. So it was.
छोटा था उस वक्त तो?
हाँ, बहुत छोटा था.
उस वर्ल्ड कप के बाद कितने चीज केक खाए? उसके अगले दिन तो
मैं बता दूं, आज हमने ये 3 अंडे खाए ना, उस दिन मेरे रूम में 25 अंडे थे. Thanks to Ashish Nehra. So,
is there
he ordered breakfast in the morning for 25 people in my room. Okay, and those people left. They were sleepy. They went and slept.
All is lying in your room.
Yeah, and all it was there in my room was eggs
and the World Cup trophy.
Yeah, and lots of newspapers.
Is there a bigger character that you've played with than Nehra ji?
Nehra ji is Nehra ji. No one can replace Nehra ji. He's a unique character and a great friend to have. Yeah.
He's when I saw Arush for the first time, I told him, I said, तेरा बेटा तो बड़ा क्यूट है. Actually, sir, बाप पे गया ना इसलिए. मैंने कहा बाप पे तो बिल्कुल नहीं गया, वहाँ पे गया है. ठीक है.
He is adorable.
Should we get some coffee?
Yeah.
Let's get some coffee. This machine is my lifeline at home. अगर ये मशीन जब हमारी कॉफ़ी ख़त्म हो जाती है तो घर में टेंशन बढ़ जाती है. Because my wife and me both get on edge. Then I have to order double espressos and keep them in the fridge.
I told you now you get this in India also, huh? These are different ones.
Local mal. ये घंटी बजी?
Yeah.
Is that your friendly neighborhood अजीत? कर दे रोल. दूसरा भी रोल करते. छोड़ इसको छोड़ रोल कर, वो आ जाएगा नहीं तो.
आ गया वो.
ओहो, मोमेंट ही मिस कर दिया है यार. मोमेंट मिस हो गया मेरा. हाँ? So you have to do us one favor. You have to pick up your bag and your juice and enter again.
Again?
Yeah, but enter with the juice. So he'll say that ये पहले kitchen में रुकता है फिर आता है. यार ये बड़े छोटे कप हैं. Oh hello.
Yes, boys.
आजा.
It's a small golf bag, no?
ये पहले किचन में जाता है फिर इधर आता है.
ये अच्छी बात है ना? How's it going?
Oh,
Good to see you. Good to see you.
How's the breakfast?
Breakfast was good.
Good.
Edible.
Edible.
Ghee laden. I'll show you a picture.
Selling pure ghee is very healthy to eat.
Not that much.
You're okay.
The pure ghee बड़ा healthy है. ये लो 10 चम्मच. So does this happen very often? Does he?
Of course, he's my neighbor.
बिन बुलाए मेहमान.
Either he's here or I'm there then.
But I would presume you are here more considering this is a bachelor brand.
Now this is where it's a different thing. Actually, he doesn't move out of his house.
क्यों सेठ जी थोड़ा
आपको आदत नहीं हुई अभी शादी हुई
नहीं आदत मतलब अलाउ नहीं होता बाहर जाना कि
ये स्टार्ट करता है अच्छा मैं उधर आता हूँ and then it ends at okay अच्छा तू ही आ जा इधर. Because sometimes I've landed from outside and he's like no तू आ जा घर.
See the thing is he's the lazier of the two of us. So I'm just trying to get him to move out of his house.
You're doing this for him.
Yeah.
You know, I had breakfast with Michael Holding. He's damn funny, man. He kept saying that. I said, "Have you gone to see the cricket?" He says, "Where is it happening?" I said, "The IPL." He said, "Oh, I thought you were talking about cricket."
So Mikey was here. So I met him for dinner last year, Sambit's house. So he's some Link Road. He told him, "You take a turn at Link Road." ये वो तो जा रहा है, ceiling पे था. Sambit. He's saying, "There is no building here." He says, "Another hour you have to travel." Mercy. So he was. I said, "Mikey, you're here for T20, man. Finally."
Yeah.
No. I'm here for a holiday. I'm here to see my wife. These West Indians, I remember, you know those vague memories.
Yeah.
Michael Holding running in the Andy Roberts.
I think Michael Holding's run-up you can never forget. If you see him just bowl one delivery also, you'll remember that guy. Is that kind of approach to the crease.
When you guys were playing together, we were just talking right now. It was just what a dressing room. एक तरफ all the brat pack of Ashu, UV, Pajji, Veeru, and एक तरफ your Dada, Anil, Sachin, all those people. So great mix.
Yeah, there were a few guys who kept the dressing room lively.
सबसे ज़्यादा बदमाशी कौन करता था?
बदमाशी वैसे कम होती थी इंडियन ड्रेसिंग रूम में, मजाक ज़्यादा होता था. आई थिंक हरभजन ही था मेरे ख्याल से. यूवी बाद में आ गया थोड़ा. आशीष नेहरा तो इधर उधर घूमता रहता था.
आशु को देख के लगता है कि जैसे वो जंगल में हाथी चल रहा होता है ना, झूम झूम के अपना चल रहा है, जो रास्ते में आया कुचला जाए.
हाँ, बस उधर जाके एक कमेंट कर दी, उस कोने में जाके एक कमेंट कर दी ड्रेसिंग रूम के, फिर इधर आके मजाक कर रहा है, फिर अपनी स्ट्रेचिंग करता है, फिर आइस बकेट में अपने पैर डाल देगा. So that was Nehra around the dressing room.
I think as a cricket fan, like while a lot of, everybody enjoys watching fours and sixes being hit. I mean, except bowlers. Everybody enjoys fours and sixes being hit. But
you're in the wrong house. Talking to the wrong people.
Except the two of you. But I really like, you see a morning session, the ball doing something, helping the bowler, and you see जब वो bowler बनाता है ना batsman को, और जो विकेट बनाता है और तैयार करता है 2-3 ओवर में, और जब that for me I think is still. Do you think I'm like an old school cricket fan then?
Definitely.
Yeah. Any person who understands cricket will want to see a bit of a contest.
Yeah.
Yes, at least in shorter format, yes, it will be loaded more in favor of the batsman.
Yeah.
But you want a little bit of a contest where bowler has some chance. यहाँ तो basically एक तो आधा पेड़ लेके आते हैं सब. The bats are that thick. These kids.
आधा पेड़.
I mean, they're beautiful bats these days. So you don't need to be a really powerful guy to hit it a long way. Most guys these days hit sixes for fun.
Yeah. For me, one of the favorite answers I've got to any question is, I asked Sachin, who's the bowler that you didn't like facing at all? And I don't know if you guys know this answer.
Hansi Cronje.
Hansi Cronje.
Of course we know that.
You know the answer, right? You played, so you know. Then because he tells afterwards, he says, whoever was batting with me, I used to say, तू एक काम कर, मैं डोनाल्ड को संभालता हूँ, तू हैंसी क्रॉन्जे को संभाल ले. कहता है, and my non-striker, whoever my partner was, used to think I'm crazy. Because sometimes the most harmless looking can mess with you the most.
And sometimes tells you he's human.
That's also true. Do you guys miss it? Do you like miss the India cap, the Indian dressing room?
Well, at least I miss being in the dressing room, not India, any dressing room. The banter, there's fun around. Yeah. I don't really miss running in 20 yards and bowling and looking at the ball sail over. अच्छा कितना दूर 80 meters. ये 100 meter गया. No, so that no, not bowling. I think I'd had my fill.
Towards the end of your career, do you one day just wake up and realize that your mind is writing checks that your body can't cash anymore?
Yeah.
It is actually like that. It comes to you that it's time.
Yeah. You were telling me, that's what your mother said when you retired, or you chose to retire. Tell me that story.
She was saying, बहुत हो गया, बस कर. Yeah, it has been a good journey. That's what she was saying. सफर अच्छा था हमारा, like that.
अब और खेलोगे तो सफर करना पड़ेगा।
एग्जैक्टली वो तो देख ही लिया उन्होंने, सफर तो कर ही रहा है वैसे ही।
सफर ना बन जाए।
यार सफर वैसे ही कर रहा है अभी, बस का।
And you look at it, you know, you've been fortunate enough to play as long as you did. You know, I mean, as a bowler, you could easily break your back in your first year and never play again.
Yeah.
Or you know, hurt your knee seriously or a shoulder injury. And difficult
And in
to come back,
subcontinent
yeah.
condition, that's a very bright possibility
Yeah.
of happening that. तेज डाली, अच्छा ठीक है।
कहाँ गया जी? टूट गया ये भी। Excellent. I think we've got lots of stuff now. We're just being greedy.
आ जाओ।
भाई यार हद हो गई। Missed call from Chad.
Really?
What are the odds? Like I've not heard from him in like months.
उसको बोलो शो बना रहे हैं।
Well, if you liked that episode, then please press subscribe so you can find out what else is on our menu and you don't miss anything fresh coming out from our kitchen, steaming hot. If you didn't like the video, then I've got more for you to choose from. Watch these and then subscribe. But don't subscribe till you're not 100% satisfied, because satisfaction is paramount. And it is my money back guarantee that you will be satisfied. But for that, I have to take some money from you first, no? Not allowed to ask for money? No. Sorry, it's free. Subscribe.